How does a family situation turn into one of the most tragic incidents of the year? In just a single morning in Louisiana, a household dispute escalated deadly. Before the incident, life appeared normal from the outside. The families were in a domestic settings, dealing with personal issues that were not visible to the public. There was no immediate sign to the neighbors that something this extreme would happen. In the days leading up to the event, the situation was a ticking time bomb. The relationship between the suspect, Shamar Elkins, and his household members was unstable. Elkins, a military veteran, had voluntarily checked into a VA hospital in January 2026. Weeks later, on Easter Sunday, he called his mother in tears, haunted by what he called dark thoughts. The ultimate trigger was set for Monday. A court hearing for a legal separation from his wife, Shaniqua. To Elkins, this court date represented a total loss of control. On the morning of April 19th, 2026, the violence began. Shamar Elkins arrived at a home on Harrison Street, where his ex-wife, Christina Snow, lived. At approximately 5:55 a.m., he opened fire. Elkins then kidnapped their 3 children and fled. Minutes later, Elkins arrived at the 300 block of West 79th Street, the home of his wife, Shaniqua Pugh. Elkins arrived at the 300 block of West 79th Street, the home of his wife. Inside was Shaniqua's sister, Keosha Pugh. As Elkins began an indiscriminate shooting spree, Keosha realized there was no way out through the doors. In a desperate bid to save her 12-year-old daughter, Keosha forced them both out a window and jumped from the roof. Keosha suffered a shattered pelvis and broken bones from the fall, but she managed to survive and call for help, frantically screaming, "He killed the kids." After the killings, Elkins carjacked a vehicle to flee. Shreveport and Bossier City police engaged in a high-speed chase. At 7:03 a.m., the pursuit ended. Elkins died during the pursuit. He would never face a courtroom for his actions. Investigators point to a rare and devastating psychological phenomenon called family annihilation. Control. Elkins viewed his family as extensions of himself. If he could not have them due to the impending divorce, he decided no one would. The snap. The combination of his dark thoughts, veteran-related trauma, and the pressure of the court date the following morning created a psychological break. Premeditation. The fact that he moved between 2 different homes and targeted children suggests a calculated plan to erase his aftermath of the tragedy in Louisiana. A community was left to piece together what could never truly be repaired. Lives were lost in moments that forever changed families, friends, and an entire town. What remains is not only grief, but remembrance of the people who were taken too soon, and of the lives that continue to be carried forward in their honor. As the headlines fade and the world moves on, those affected are left with a silence that speaks louder than words. But within that silence, There is also resilience, a community standing together, refusing to be defined only by its darkest day.